Welcome to the internet, your gateway to adventure.
I'm not speaking out to cause a panic. I just want everyone to be very careful when they're shopping for the next few weeks. It hasn't even been a week since Thanksgiving, but anyone who works in retail knows that we are already in the Christmas season. Hell, your store's probably busted out the decorations half a month ago, and the Christmas songs probably started the day after fucking Halloween. I dislike my job in retail as it is, but now that I'm practically dancing around danger at work every day, I cannot stand it. I'm constantly worried about my coworkers and customers, and I'm scared to death about something happening to me if I make the wrong move. You're not hearing about it on the news, but people are disappearing in stores across the country. That's stores, plural, not one specific type of store or franchise. I don't know exactly how they disappear or where it is they go, but one second they'll be in the store and the next just gone. The store I work for, owned by a rather well-known convenience store franchise, has had 2 people disappear inside of it. I've been questioned by the police, and so have my coworkers and managers. Security footage that was viewed during the investigation answered no questions, but I'll get into that in a bit. The first person who disappeared was an elderly woman named Donna, who frequented the store. I wasn't working that day, but my manager told me that he watched her vanish from thin air as she reached far back into the shelf to grab a tin of coffee grains. One second she was there, the next, she wasn't. He called the authorities immediately because he couldn't believe what he had just witnessed. Our cashier that day, a college girl named Yvonne, says she saw the old woman come into the store about 10:30 in the morning that day, but never saw her leave. The cops asked the store manager to see tapes from the security cameras. The footage, from what I've heard, I didn't see it myself, showed the doors opening at around the time Yvonne said Donna came in, but it didn't show the old woman herself. Instead, again, from what I've been told, the footage seemed to completely erase her. Everything she did was still on the tape, but Donna herself was not there. The cart she was pushing? There. The footage showed it rolling through the aisles by itself. The products she picked out? Also there. The footage showed them floating off the shelves and into the cart. Everything was there except Donna. It spooked my store manager bad and confused the shit out of the police. Every single one of us were questioned extensively, even those of us who weren't working that day. That was on November 16th, about 2 weeks ago from the time I am writing this. Donna has not been found since. On November 24th, a Thursday, a guy from out of state vanished in front of me. I was stocking the shelves in the electronics aisle, and he came up to me and asked where he could find batteries for his watch. I started walking him over to what he was looking for, but he stopped halfway and told me he saw them behind a product on one of the bottom shelves in that aisle. I saw him crouch down, reach for something on the shelf, and then he was gone. It freaked me out so bad I ended up puking my guts out after telling my manager. The process began all over again. The police were contacted, they looked at the security footage, got spooked by what they saw, which was again nothing, and reported another missing person. This round of questioning was a bit harder on us, as they believed one of us working there was some repeat offender kidnapping these people. But I knew what I saw. The guy fucking disappeared. His name was Ray Matrine. Next few days at work were scary as shit. Cops in and out all day asking all sorts of questions, keeping an eye on all of us and the customers. We all started experiencing some very weird stuff. The general feel of the store became tense and unusual. Very few customers came in, and those that did said the place felt stuffy. I'd noticed that some of the brand names would change from some well-known brand to something like Matri's Chocolate or Donna's Dish Soap. It would do it quickly, out of the corner of my eye, before changing back again when I got a better look. My coworkers would see the same thing. Sometimes products would fall from the shelves simultaneously, hitting the floor at the exact moment. The most that fell at once was 5. The probability of that happening is ridiculously low. On Saturday, the 26th, we started hearing screaming on the intercom. We have a default station put together by the company around this time of year. It alternates between really bland pop songs and Christmas music. Only 3 of us were staffed for Saturday night, and during a slow period in the store, my coworker Jim stopped what he's doing and looked at me wide-eyed. "Did you hear that?" he asked. "Hear what?" "Listen." The music continued, but then suddenly shifted in pitch before quickly cutting to a man screaming. Then it went back to the same song just as fast. It did this once every couple of songs. Sometimes it was a man's scream. Other times it was a woman's. I got my laptop out of my work locker to briefly record one of the screams to show my boss. I'll put it in the description below. The thought of the scream being from Ray has given me nightmares for the past couple nights. It's as if he and Donna have somehow become part of the store, calling out for help in any way that they can. When I showed the store manager, Tom, the recording this morning, he got really pale and asked if we could lunch together. I agreed. At break time, we hopped into his car and didn't drive anywhere. Instead, Tom broke down crying, said he couldn't take it anymore, that he had to tell somebody about what he knew. I told him he could trust me, but after what he told me, I feel it's my responsibility to let people know what's going on. Tom said that a few weeks back he was getting a string of emails from corporate saying that they were sending inspectors from the FDA to check the store out. Tom was understandably confused. We didn't have a bad track record by any means, but the higher-ups insisted that he let these people come in and take a look. When the inspector came, they seemed odd to Tom. When he tried to speak with them, they told him they were not at all associated with the FDA and that they were with some group called Courtesy Product Quality Services. They wanted to test brand loyalty in our customers. A truck arrived that day with a bunch of miscellaneous products that the agency insisted they put on our shelves themselves. Tom had noticed that the crew from the agency were putting small devices on the products that he did not recognize. He said they resembled security tags, but they were metallic and constantly making a low humming noise. The people were putting these devices in places and on the products that people probably wouldn't see in their first glance, under the boxes, between the products and its bubble wrap, etc. When Tom asked what was going on, one of the representatives told him that they wanted to make sure that people were buying the right products instead of the wrong products this Christmas season, and wanted to reinforce consequences if people picked out, and this is what Tom told me the guy said, abysmal product choices. He would not elaborate any further. Okay, I'll say it. My boss is a huge pushover. He couldn't bring himself to inquire anything more. The agency left, and he was left none the wiser. When I got home from work about 2 hours ago, I started Googling everything I could about Courtesy Product Quality Services. I pulled up some very recent results on various forums and comment sections about people experiencing similar anomalies in stores they work at. Grocery stores, clothing shops, organic food places, you name it. An hour later, I couldn't find anything on the topic, no matter how hard I Googled it. Everything I've read is gone. People disappearing in stores everywhere without any explanation, and nobody is talking about it. What the fuck is going on? Is anyone else working in retail experiencing stuff like this? Please, everyone be safe this shopping season. Don't even consider what could be the wrong products.